and 4. The battle is on. It's going to be too close to call side by side. Wong Do gets it. Oh, we got contact. We got flips. Everywhere. We got big wrecks here. Going back to the front because we're racing back to the line.
William Page with the victory.
Looking for second here.
Musa's gonna.
Oh, he's gonna use that apron.
He's gonna use the apron.
They're gonna be side by side. Coming off the corner. Boy, back to the inside. It's gonna be a drag race to the line. Musa gets it.
Tom Musa, where did he come from?
Boyer trying to close the gap. He's gonna get to the bumper. Oh, just barely did not make it. And coming off of turn 4, Jeff Sikenis is gonna win it at Dover.
Before I wrap things up here in this segment, your thoughts on the type of race we're going to see tonight. And I would have to agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to tonight's feature presentation of the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series here from the Daytona International Speedway, presented by the fine folks at Voiles Trucking. As always, I'm your host, Joe Twansky. Alongside me tonight, you know him, you love him. He's a quirky guy, but he's definitely got the knowledge to get it done here if he wanted to drive. Mr. Ricky Collette. Ricky, we're back in Daytona.
Yeah, back at Daytona again for another race. This time a little longer than what we had last night. 30 laps last night, 80 laps here tonight. It'll be a little bit of a longer race, a little bit bigger of a field. It'll be a little wilder here. Different version of Daytona that we're running here. The TR version, the Tally Rally version of Daytona. So vanilla Daytona with a twist. So this will be a fun race here tonight.
Fun race indeed. And this, of course, your Circle B Diecast race preview for the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series. Remember to use code JTN to check out for free shipping on your order of 20 more. Of course, this is the Daytona International Speedway, the world center of racing. 80 laps on the docket, 70 degrees, moderate damage, open setup. It's Bomb Squad racing on a Thursday night. It feels good to be back after the week off. So, I mean, I'm ready to go. Ricky, are you ready to go?
I'm ready to roll here.
Last night was a good little palate cleanser, maybe, for get us good and ready.
A little palate cleanser, get a little ready for this.
I know the last couple weekends I took a lot of time listening to the PA at the racetracks, kind of trying to pick up on those little cues and stuff, right? Because PA and radio is a little bit different than TV. I like to think that we do our best to be a good in between those two things. I know that I'm sure there's folks that maybe they're listening to these races, whether they're watching them back or maybe they have them on in the background while they're doing school work or work, hopefully, but doing something productive too, or just kicking back, relaxing, and watching some racing here on JTN. Folks, make sure, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Click the like button on the video too. It does so much to help support us. A bunch of new faces in our subscriber pool. We're so close to 700. Which feels really good. And again, we can't thank the folks at Full Circle Racing Designs last night for giving us that opportunity. Can't thank them enough for all that. And can't thank the folks here at Bomb Squad for giving us an opportunity to be broadcasting on Thursday night all the way through the beginning of the first week of November. So you're going to want to make sure you have our YouTube page bookmarked. You're going to want to make sure you're subscribed with the bell icon clicked so you get notified anytime new content gets posted, new content goes live, and because you don't want to miss a second of it. It is going to be exciting, to say the least. Tonight's an exciting race, Ricky, because super speedways, they're the great equalizer for some of the folks that maybe they're a little more timid with the way they drive, right? Maybe they're a little more conservative, kind of being able to mix in with those guys that really attack the track lap in and lap out. I think that's the big key tonight, is that you're going to have the field, you're going to see them come together here.
Yeah, they're going to stay nice and close together. Everyone's going to have a pretty good shot here. Open setups tonight, so that's going to throw a little bit of a wrench into the plans. But for the most part, everyone, you can get the car rolling through tech. You should be able to race here at Daytona pretty fairly.
And we didn't mention, I forgot to mention, Bullsit are going to win $25, and we already know that DJ Champ, if he wins, he's going to go ahead and donate that back to the Bomb Squad Racing Clubhouse to help them pay with server fees. So right now on top of the board here in qualifying as that continues to go on, getting ready for happy hour, getting ready to hear Ricky read a bunch of names and probably say a few incorrect, but that's what you get here at JTN. Professional broadcasting at its finest.
And with pleasure, Joe, for tonight's race here. The qualifying is complete. The cars are out here. And for tonight's event, we will have 17 cars starting tonight. So a good sized field. Starting on the pole will be the 91 car BSR DJ Champ at a time of 47.032 seconds. Starting in spot number 2 will be the 193 of BSR Ricky J. Rolling off of the third position is the 4 of BSR Silver Bullet. From the fourth spot will be the 99 of Brandon Hawken. Rick Craddock in the 22 will round out the top 5. Zach Rogers in the 9 will roll off from the 6th position tonight. In the 7th will be the 54 Robbie Nices. Nices.
Oh,
I always do that. Rolling off from the 8th position, 144, BSR Magoo. BSR Terry Scott in the 66 will roll off 9th. And last car to take a time in qualifying will be BSR Keith MC in the 28 car. BSR Fergo in the 19 will roll off 11th. Rolling off 12th will be the 114 of BSR Eli. From 13th position will be the 103 of Nelly. 14th, the 028 of Monty Keller. 15th, the 096 of BSR Chevy Chase. In the 16th position, the 49 of BSR Brain Fade. And starting shotgun on the field will be the 029 of BSR Kilojoules. And that's going to be a starting lineup for tonight's race here, Joe. Good 17-car field. Should make for some fun time tonight.
Should be a lot of fun. You see the pack out there right now getting some drafting practice, and you love to see that. Everyone getting those last few major adjustments that you can make here in happy hour. But, Ricky, is there really... the car, once we start the race, the setup, the car, it's you have what you have, right? There really aren't many adjustments that you're going to make throughout the race to help with the handling.
Nah, not really. It's Daytona, so unlike Talladega, a little sharper corners here. Just a skosh smaller radius going around these turns. So you have to take into account that I should say, when you're setting up your cars here. Handling does matter a little more than it would at somewhere like Talladega, where the turns are a little wider, a little less sharp, I guess is the best way to describe it. Excuse me, but what these guys are going to be dealing with tonight isn't going to be a whole ton of handling. You might be able to make some adjustments, but for the most part, you're kind of baked in based on what your setup's doing, especially in terms of straightaway speed. That's all stuff that you have to figure out in the garage area tonight.
Bunch of stuff you're going to have to figure out, too. Does it really come down to making sure you figure out who your partners are going to be here tonight, who you're going to want to work with? I know, BSR, we got more of a big family feel to the league, so everybody's friends and everyone wants to work together, but you definitely have guys that you feel more comfortable working with, more comfortable right on your bumper.
Yeah, definitely. That's going to be a big thing tonight, is just choosing who you want to work with and who you want drafting you. Some of these guys out here probably don't want certain people pushing them. Some of these guys probably don't want these people to get away from them. It all kind of depends, driver to driver here. But should make for some interesting strategy tonight to see who goes with who, and if there's any games being played there in terms of teammates or anyone working together.
Well, NR 2003 Racing from Daytona is coming up here on JTN, and folks, you're going to want to make sure you get a bag of popcorn, you get a snack, get a drink, sit back, relax, enjoy this one with us. 80 laps here at the Daytona International Speedway. This was our Circle B Diecast race preview presented by Circle B Diecast. Use that code JTN at checkout for free shipping on your order of $20 or more. Circle B Diecast, Circle B Diecast, CircleBDiecast.com.
CircleBDiecast.com.
See Magoo in the 144 out there by himself. Everyone's starting to take practice swipes at the pit lane. How important is that, making sure you know where to start braking coming to this pit road? Because is it more important because you're going to want to not take tires throughout the night?
Yeah, you're really not going to want to take tires here. You want to make those pit stops as quick as possible. Rubber here is not that important. So you're going to be taking a lot of right sides, a lot of left sides, sometimes no tires, whatever the track's doing. Sometimes it varies a little bit, but for the most part, you're really not going to be doing a ton of tires here with it being a super speedway. So you have to keep an eye out for that tonight. Make sure that you don't accidentally tell that pit crew to give you 4 tires. Make sure if you got to put 2 cans of fuel in that thing, that you're doing that as quickly as humanly possible.
How many cans of fuel you putting in your car? 2?
2, yeah.
Ah, shoot, I only do 1.
That's all. Well, what? We're not supposed to do that.
Last week's winner, we weren't at Michigan last week with Bomb Squad, but Brandon Hawken came away with the victory last week here in the Cup Series. 2 in the last 3 for the 99 Borelli ART team. Addition here to the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series. Oh, he's spinning. Oh, big hit. Go check on it.
Having some fun out here. These guys are waiting to get ready for race time. Going to be rolling here in just about 15 seconds. Should be moving over to the race.
Wow, 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 wow.
And there we go. Cars are all set. The race has started, and everyone's lined up here on pit road behind that Dodge Charger pace car. Whatever you got, Joe, because for me, it's a Dodge Charger. I don't know what it is for you.
What color is it for you?
Black and white.
Oh, you got the police car?
The old 5-0.
Got a green pace car here.
Well,
Okay.
then, I guess, I don't know. Pretend to be colorblind. I don't know. But tonight's race, all the cars lined up here on pit road, getting ready to roll.
Give the command momentarily. DJ Champ going to start on the front row with Ricky J, our points leader, starting to his outside. Silver Bullet and Brandon Hawking going to make up row number 2. Rick Craddock, Zach Rogers, row number 3. Row 4.
Drivers, start your engines!
You heard the command. The nicest guy in town, Robbie Nice, is going to line up in position number 7 with Magoo to his outside, rounding out that row number 4. Row 5, rounding out your top 10 is going to be the 66 of Terry Scott and the 28 of Keith MC. Urko going to roll off in 11th and the 19, and then Eli, 114 going to line up in 12th in the 114 car. Nelly, our Talladega winner from earlier this year, going to line up in 13th with Monty Keller to his outside in 14th. 15th is going to be the 096 of Chevy Chase. Rain Fade to his outside, and lining up shotgun on the field. It's going to be BSR Kilojoules KJ in the 029 Assassin's Creed Chevrolet Corvette. 17 cars on the track for this one tonight. I mean that there is a lot of room to maneuver around this 2.5 mile super speedway. Fans are all on their feet in anticipation for this one, Ricky. I've been looking forward to this race for a while because super speedways provide the best action on the web because everybody knows that when they start this race, they're going to have a great chance to win it.
That is true, Joe. Everyone's got a great chance to win this. It's like I said, it's going to be a mad dash here. Everyone's got an opportunity. If they got a car running at the end of this, they got a horse in this race.
80 laps makes it even more interesting, folks, because you're going to be looking at least 2 pit stops throughout the night. Those green flag pit cycles can be killer to your race strategy if you cannot execute. Field makes their way off of turn 4. Fans on their feet on the front stretch in the tri-oval and also on the back stretch grandstand. Dodge Charger pace car going to make the hard left turn down the pit lane, and DJ Champ takes control of the field. Down we go into the tri-oval. Green flag. We're underway here from Daytona.
And here comes that 91. DJ Champ gets a good jump on the 4. But you see up top, 93 Ricky J already getting a big shove from Brandon Hawken here. That top line already formed a little more up than that bottom line. You see they're starting to fracture. Everyone already starting to move up top.
Braddock in that 22 started in 5th, already going to the outside, 4th in line there in that green at number 22 Camaro. Going to get a push from Magoo. Ricky J getting a good shove right now from Brandon Hawken, and Zach Rogers falling behind. Those three have worked very well together in the garage area over the past few weeks. Rogers all over the back bumper of Hawken there, the 9 and 99. 9's going wild here at the front right now.
93, Ricky J's got that lead. He's got a big push on that high line, and he is going to come across the line to lead lap 1 here at Daytona.
Give him those bonus points there for the lap led. Going to get getting a huge shove from Brandon Hawken right now. Zach Rogers also committed to that line. They're starting to try to pull the field around the middle groove of this racetrack.
And you see it now. Remember, 80-lap race here, so these guys are going to have to want to use a little bit of strategizing, a little bit of a restraint. We saw last night a 30-lap race. Those guys could go absolutely madness, brains to the wall here in terms of what they were doing. Tonight, these guys got to pace themselves. 80 laps, a long race. You don't want to get caught up in a wreck early. You don't want to put yourself back early on. You don't want to mess up pit stops. You want to make sure you find some people to work with right now and get comfortable.
I think that's why we're seeing the fields get strung out single file right now, because they know there is over 70 laps in this race left. I mean, that's 175 miles at plus left in this race. So still a long ways to go before this one's over. Just take it easy right now. Conserve your stuff. Don't wreck your race car. Even though it is moderate damage, it's a little forgiving, but when the engine goes boom boom, you can't keep going.
That is true. Engine goes boom boom. It's always impending doom. But here, BSR Ricky J up front, looking pretty clear here. And riding around in the middle lane, we see the 91 BSR DJ Champ starting to go to the bottom, getting the 4 Silver Bullet going with him. These guys are going to start trying to form a line on the bottom. Look how many people are starting to go behind him. Keith MC, Nelly, Robbie Isis, they're all kind of looking. They don't want to commit to it just yet because they want to see what this high line's going to do. But this low line already starting to show a little bit of progress here. The 91 starting to march his way up to the inside of Zach Rogers at 3rd spot.
You can see that those two, DJ Champ and Silver Bullet, they're trying to fight their way up into that middle lane. You don't scrub as much speed as if you're, say, running right on the yellow line on the bottom. So you kind of do that to keep your corner exit speed at least a little bit closer to those guys on the outside, because that's where you're seeing this outside line really prevail, is off a turn 2, off a turn 4. And you see now Magoo almost clear the 91, and Keith MC trying to do the same thing in that Lincoln on the outside. I'm just glad we aren't screaming 5 laps into a super speedway race. I think that's pretty impressive.
That is definitely true. It's nice to not have to do that. Get ourselves a little acclimated, get everyone a little cozy in, get everyone warmed up to this old Daytona once more. This whole little go-around that we're doing here. But right now, it's starting to spice up a little bit in the back. You see the 4, the 49, still trying to make that low line work. DJ Champ couldn't get the low line to totally work, but this is what I'm talking about. A little bigger of a field here. It's going to take a little more of a coordinated effort to get a second line moving. But right now, Ricky J doing exactly what he wants to do in that 193. Kind of holding almost middle ground here on the track. He's not up by the wall, but he's not down by the apron. He wants to make sure that he's kind of matching both lanes at the moment. So if Brandon Hawkins starts trying to make a move, he can quickly react to it if he wants to hang on to the lead. Now, again, early on, you're not really going to be trying to force that too much, but you can kind of dictate where this line's going, and if you can kind of deter people from starting a second line, it helps. But that's not stopping BSR Magoo in that 144, and you see Keith MC was looking, and then decided to jump back in line, and Keith MC going to hop back to that I-line. Magoo in no man's land down there.
Left alone right now on the bottom, and that's where the big difference is, right? There's a difference between kind of fading a line and completely blocking a line. What Ricky J right now is doing, he's trying to keep those guys middle of the track. He's trying to fade on those guys behind him. He's not blocking them, right? Because they still have a choice. It's not like they're gonna run right through him because he's moving his car to get in front of them. But he's trying to fade those lines. You try to do that to make sure you can keep those guys behind you, because you really want to ride the bubble of air. You don't want to be consumed by it, as we saw Magoo has lost 3-4 positions now. Zach Rogers to the inside, looking for the lead, but no help on the bottom. He's going to start falling back here.
Yeah, Zach Rogers going to get caught in that same thing, but you see Magoo, the 4 Silver Bullet, the 49 of Brain Fate, 66 to Terry Scott. There is a low line starting to form down there, Joe, so Zach's not going to fall back as much as you think, but it's a question of, will anyone else start trying to venture down there as this bottom line starting to form up? These guys are going to start moving. You see Keith MC kind of looking top and bottom, like he's sort of trying to think about it.
Yeah.
Like he's contemplating if it's worth it.
He's like, maybe I will, maybe I won't, you know?
Possibly, maybe, possibly not.
Possibly, maybe.
I don't know.
Big mover so far tonight, though, has been the 103 of Nelly up inside the top 10, looking for 5th right now. DJ Champ going to the bottom, to the inside of Brandon Hawkin for 2nd. But Nelly was our Truck Series winner here at Daytona last night with Bomb Squad Racing. That 103 team, they know how to get it done on these super speedways. Also won at Talladega earlier this year, live on JTN.
I'm on JTN, and right now you see the 91's down there, the 096 is down there. Joe, that low line's starting to form up. They're starting to get some numbers here. They're starting to get what they need to start making some progress. As you can see, that top 4 is really the only ones that are single file right now. They're kind of trying to stay in a little group, hang on to that high line, but you see DJ Champ down on the bottom of the 91 really trying to make that work. I think they're going to need a little more. They're going to need a few more numbers. You see traction behind the 9, Zach Rogers. That low line's going to have to stay close together, and they're going to be banking on someone come down with them. But for right now, holding station pretty well there on the bottom with the numbers that they do have.
Holding just outside that top 5, right? And I think that's where you want to be. We're about 20 or so laps away from pit stops, most likely. So you got time to experiment, too. I think that's really... I know when I run these super speedways, I want to start gathering information early on in these races, and the best way to gather information is to actually try to make passes, push your way through the field. Like I said, one guy that's done that so far is Nelly in that 103. Keith MC, he's got up inside the top 5 after starting 10th. I mean, there are some guys up here at the front that have kind of worked their way towards that front, have been able to make the passes, and they're probably learning the most right now. Ricky J's in a great spot, right? He's leading Brandon Hawkin right there behind him as well. But there's only so much you can learn from the lead at these super speedways.
That is true, but right now, it's a great time to experiment. Like you said, these guys kind of all looking around. Let me see if they can find something early on here before they start getting too crazy. With that 91 really trying to hang on to this, but you see these guys are coming up on the 33 of BSR Jimmy Dale. That's going to cause this whole line to have to shift down the track a little bit. Does this help some of those guys that are already on the low line? As you see, they're starting to drop down in front of the 91 as they get on by this lap traffic. They're going to give them a wide berth. This might help that low line start to at least get a little bit of a sniff of the wind. As you see the 54 drop in front. Now they're really scattering here. They're getting past the 33 coming through the tri-oval.
Tri-oval was a little tighter than those corners.
Yeah, it gets a little tight coming off there. When you're up top that high up, you really want to make sure you don't hit that wall. 9 is Zach Rogers starting to peek to that bottom. Zach Rogers is starting to get tired of waiting around. Look, there he goes to the inside of the 54. He's going to try to get up to the 103 and Nelly, but he doesn't have the numbers behind him just yet. Those guys are coming up a little bit of a ways behind him, but they are coming up.
Zach Rogers not a driver known to be sitting on his hands for too long waiting. Always wants to push his way towards the front.
That is true, but right now they're really... It's tricky. You see, these guys are really trying to pace themselves. They don't want to venture down and start racing too much. They want to make sure that if they're going to get to the end of this race, that they do it quickly and efficiently. And the best way to do that is to hit every single pit stop, and especially make sure that first is good.
You got to make sure the first stop's good and you don't take yourself out of the race. And then you got to... That second stop, that money stop of the race, that is... I don't think it gets talked about enough, especially here where you have a 17-car field, which is a good size, right? But it's not 40 cars like you'd see in a traditional NASCAR Cup Series race here at Daytona. You can lose the draft very easily with a smaller field, and once you lose that draft, a lot of times there's no coming back from it. So you got to make sure you execute. If you're going to make a mistake, you want to do it on this first pit stop. Not saying you ever want to make a mistake, but as this race moves into the later stages, you're not going to be able to make those pushes to the front. Last night we talked about, with the smaller field, hey, it was okay to go to the back because, 9 cars, you can work your way up towards the front. 17 cars, 18 cars, that's a little bit of a taller task.
That is true. It's just a little bit more of a daunting task. I think these guys are up for the challenge, but you don't want to. If you're gonna drop to the back, try to take some chances. You want to do it early on here when everyone's together. Never really know what's gonna change, but right now these guys starting to seem like they're not content with riding around. Keith MC, old Mac Daddy there in that 28 car. Trying to get a push from the 9. Zach Rogers starting to try to form up that bottom line. They got 5 cars down there. They don't have the numbers just yet, but I keep seeing some of these front guys. Some of these guys have been up there all. This first 15 laps stint, starting to venture down there, trying some stuff. I think there's only so long that these guys are going to wait around on riding. I think they want to race. They want to get some. They want to get some side by side and get a shot at that lead here. And I think Keith MC right now is really trying to make that low line work.
Trying to make it work, but can't get it to work right now. I think that's the real story.
Yeah, I think that is the story. But I think it's just they need a few more cars. They just need a few more numbers. You see that top line isn't totally formed up, but what is formed up is about the top 7 cars there, all nose to tail, and that's really what's keeping them rolling around this place fairly quickly.
What do you make of the race so far?
It's a waiting game. It's a chess match. Everyone's kind of just thinking. Everyone's getting their bearings. Only 16 laps into an 80-lap race, mind you, so you gotta. It's gonna go by quick. Less than an hour here. You gotta make sure that you are on top of it. No one really wants a ton of cautions because it's going to fatigue you out really bad. Everyone wants to make it to the end of this, but I do see that low line starting to form. I do see these guys starting to venture down there. I'd say give it another 15 laps here. If we get under pit road, these guys start splitting up. We'll start seeing some more racing here. But for the moment, I do think some of these guys up front are just trying to get their bearings here. Just make sure that they're ahead on that first round of stops to see if they can get any advantage being the ones dictating the pit strategy.
How do you dictate the pit strategy?
You decide when everyone pits.
It's not like a normal.
There's not much. There's no ifs, ands, or buts to it. It's just, oh hey, let's pit. Okay. Usually, if the guy up front goes, hey, I'm pitting, there's gonna be like 5 other guys behind him that are gonna go, I'm gonna pit too. I like his foresight.
Are you be the first to pit road or be the last to pit road kind of guy here at Super Speedways? Because I know those are the two main strategies.
I'm a little bit of the latter. As he's got to come up with a 19 of Furco, you see him starting to kind of splinter up and running around, getting past the 19 here. I'm a little bit of the latter, Joe. I like pitting later because you never really know, especially on that first pit stop, you don't really know where everyone's points are. Every single Super Speedway we come to is different in terms of breaking points, getting on pit road. You don't want to slide the wheel. You don't want to lock up the wheels. You don't want to slide those tires and flat spot them and trash them. You want to keep these cars clean. But the issue is you don't know how hard you can push it down pit road under full speed most of the time. So that first round of pit stops, I usually like to wait until maybe a few guys, a sizable enough grouping comes in. Just because if you're on the other end of that caution, it does help you out, get you right up to the front where some of these other guys will have to pit again. Mm-hmm. Trying to get their stuff repaired.
Well, and I think to try to make a case for the other side, because I'm also in the group of I want to be the last to pit road. If you're the first to pit road, as we're seeing, okay, so there's pit stops on lap 18, so I guess they can only go about lap 20 laps. Eli into the inside wall. He locked up the left front. It looks like he's still got all the tires on it. So never mind, we're looking at like a 4-stop race, but the pit stop's upcoming here a little bit quicker than I think, at least I thought. But to make the case, if I'm the first to pit road and a caution does come out, I'm going to cycle right up to the lead. That's always a good strategy too.
That is usually a pretty good strategy.
It's not like a road course where you know, or it's not, I don't know, the normal track. Brandon Hawken really aggressive getting down onto the pit lane. Managed to make the pass for what will be the lead when they get off the pit lane. Nelly now is taking it over. Nice is in second, DJ Champ third, Magoo fourth. They're going to go the extra lap here. Go do 20 laps. So that puts them in the 3-stop window. Pretty solidly. The pit stops going on right now on the pit lane. using the traditional war wagons here tonight.
Yeah, doing it the old-timey way, but look at all these guys coming off pit road here. And Brandon Hawkins going to lead. No, KJ's going to actually lead.
He was a lap down. KJ was.
KJ, I don't know what KJ actually did if he took a separate strategy. That came out a lot further ahead than a lot of these guys, but he's going to be leading them off pit road here.
I think KJ's a lap down to him.
Oh, okay, that would make sense then. Well, Brandon Hawkins will be leading this line then. When these guys come off pit road. Look at this 49 at Brain Fade just blowing by these guys, still trying to get up to speed. He's doing 190 around this joint, making sure he stays up by the wall. He doesn't want to mess with these guys too much.
Look at the big loser on that strategy. Ricky J in the 193 Voiles Trucking Mustang. He has lost all his track position and now barely clinging on to this group.
Yeah, that's going to be tricky on the bright side, though. He does have the back of the 4-Silver Bullet. If they can catch the 49 Brain Fade, they might be able to kind of gap this group. They might be able to just hang on to the gap on this group just ever so slightly, but it's going to really be dependent on that Ford machine to catch the draft. Go to the inside of the 4, so the 4's going to concede that and let Ricky J take that front point. Hopefully they can get themselves sorted and get rolling here.
You don't want to be side by
side. They do have 2 cars
side.
behind them. They have the 66 BSR Terry Scott and the 19 of Furco, but they're still a ways behind them. So these guys kind of want to all start grouping up quick because these guys are on track at the moment. And that front group's already starting to set up a big pack.
I'm gonna say you got 4 cars under a blanket right now up to speed. Brandon Hawkin gonna take the lead for the first time here tonight. Done by DJ Champ for the position, and the rest of the top 4 follow through. So we cycle out like this. Brandon Hawkins, Chevy Chase, Rick Craddock, your top 3, with Mac Daddy Keith Dempsey there in 4th. Zach Rogers going to take over the 5th spot. DJ Champ 6th. 7th is Nelly. 8th, Monty Keller. 9th, Brain Fade. And then 10th is going to be Magoo. Pitch strategy splintered up the field all right.
Just a little bit, like he usually does.
Oh, do we know what we're talking about?
Sometimes. Every now and then. What's that old saying? Broken clocks, right? Twice a day?
Yes.
How many times have you been right today, Joe?
I think I hit my limit.
We'll hit it another time here. But coming around this track, Brandon Hawkins leading. Here comes Zach Rogers to the inside.
I don't think...
4-car group here, so Rogers going to take a big swing at it, diving to the inside. You see the 91 of BSR DJ Champ taking KJ 3 wide there, getting around that lap car, the old 29. Rogers is really trying to bank on somebody going with him. Doesn't look like he has it just yet, but he did get past the 2080 Keith MC, just doing that little suck up and pass, that little slipstream and pass there. A little shake and bake, so that will be useful later in the race to figure out what you can do with a really strong run. But Zach Rogers going to fall back into the grasp of the 103 of Nelly. Probably going to make another charge here as he catches back up to these guys, but he's going to need some help if he wants to make a run at Brandon Hawkins there in the lead.
Do you need more cars on the bottom or more cars on the top? Because the lines don't seem as even as they were last night, the different version of Daytona.
I don't know. It seems like more cars on the top, but sometimes when you come to these places and you think that, all of a sudden they all go to the bottom.
Folks, if you like what you're seeing, you can check out Bomb Squad Racing at bombsquadracing.net to find out more about how you can sign up to race with the fine folks here at Bomb Squad Racing. But if you like us and you like us talking about racing, I implore you to make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the like button on the video too. We appreciate it when you do that so much. So many new subscribers in the last 24 hours, or 48 hours, whatever you want to say. Can't thank you guys enough. If this is your first time tuning in, or this is your 101st time tuning in, we can't thank you enough for all the support you've given us over the last year and a half now, Ricky. And we hope you stick around and you keep watching more, because we got a bunch of great races all throughout the fall that you're not going to want to miss. They're going to be can't miss races.
Definitely going to be can't miss races. And right now, you can't miss Zach Rogers there in that 9 Red Bull Audi out here on track as they're coming up on that lap car. Jimmy Dale in the 33 once again coming down, trying to get by, but look at Zach Rogers up to the 3rd spot. They're going to be 3 wide here with the lap car. Zach Rogers on the bottom, 22 up top there. Rick Craddock trying to hang on to it. Craddock's going to get the advantage, but Zach Rogers now up to the 4th position. Oh, the 28, Keith, I'm seeing the 33 get together just a little bit. 33 gets a wall. They stay rolling. They stay clean. Everyone gets through it. But Zach Rogers is making some moves happen here, even if the field's not going to let him do it.
He did the old use the lap car as a pick thing there, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All's fair in love and war. And racing. Rogers now looking to the inside of Craddock for 3rd, trying to figure out a way to get around. Mac Daddy Keith MC gonna go with him. Chevy Chase tries to move down to stall out the run of the 9. It looks like that run is stalling out. Keith MC, though, all over the back bumper of Zach Rogers. They continue to battle for 2nd as we exit the tri-oval down into turn 1.
And Joe, remember, they all pitted on lap 18. Keep that note in your head for later. So they'll probably have to pit again around lap 36 or so. So probably within 10 laps, I'll have to come back down.
You're gonna want to go. You're gonna want to go more than 18 laps, though, because you're gonna be outside of the 3-stop window. You're gonna have to make an extra stop because you're not saving. What would that be? 2, 4, 6. You're not saving 6 laps of fuel.
Yeah, I don't think so. But it depends on when these guys pitted. You saw a few of them came down on lap 18. A few came down a little later. A few came down, on lap 18. It all depends on who came down when and how long they can actually stretch that fuel out there. Really, here at Daytona, you can't really do it a whole ton. The draft helps, but you can't really do a ton on track other than just riding around in the draft and try to kind of half throttle it for a bit.
Brandon Hawkins still your leader. Chevy Chase in 2nd, Rick Craddock in 3rd. They've stayed that way since the pit cycle ended. Monty Keller, Brain Fade are in 5th and 6th with Nelly, last night's Truck Series winner, riding in 4th right now, biggest mover of the day. Actually, Chevy Chase, biggest mover of the day. Started 15th up to 2nd. My apologies.
Yeah, a lot of big movers in this race. Everyone kind of moving all over the place, jumping up and down the field, depending on every given lap. Those pit stops really mixed everyone up, but they've all come back together here, which is surprising to me.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll see another splintering of the field, because the big thing about that last cycle as we go to him, Ricky J was the leader at the start of that cycle. And he, as well as Silver Bullet, Magoo, Terry Scott is further on back behind these guys. They've all lost that lead draft, Ricky, and it doesn't look like they're going to be able to get it back.
Yeah, they're going to need some help. They're going to need a caution of some variety to get back in this. But, don't count those guys out just yet. Anything can change at Daytona very quickly. And, these guys are riding around right now. It takes I said earlier, it takes one person to miss their braking point coming down pit road for us to have a caution here when these guys come back around a couple laps to start taking pit stops. So just keep an eye out, because these guys are kind of on a mad dash right now to make it to the end of the race.
Mad dash to make it to the end of the race. Keith MC has lost some ground. The rest of the field, Zach Rogers, he's gotten back into that main line. There's smoke up ahead. Burt goes slow on the apron. Let's see if we can't investigate what happened here, if something did happen. Oh, oh no. There was contact down the back straightaway, Ricky.
Oh.
Here's
Furco
a replay.
in the 54 there.
Robbie Nices goes around. Furco locks up the right front, sends him to that outside wall.
Interesting that wasn't a caution there, Joe.
No one was coming on the track. Race officials said, keep racing. Those silly race officials. Reminds me of when Tyler Reddick went for a spin this past weekend at Michigan, and I think everyone in the grandstand, we all thought that the caution was going to get thrown there at the end of that one, and then it didn't.
They're like, no, we gotta let it roll.
Can't let you intent spin yourself in yellow. That's not what happened there, though. Contact there between the 19 of Furco and the 54 Robbie Nices and that Ron John Surf Shop Toyota.
Guys still riding around up top, and you still see that low line just trying to work, just trying to make some progress, but nothing really happened just yet.
Nothing just yet?
Nothing just yet.
Just yet.
Just yet, though, because, you know, these guys aren't content. Zach Rogers there in that 9 to make it this very really not content to hang around back. He wants to race. He wants to run up front here, and he knows that he's got to make some moves to get that to happen.
Zach Rogers not content to just ride around in the outside line? What? I haven't heard that one before. Working to the inside of Monty Keller right now in that Mountain Dew Chevrolet SS. Now losing ground. Brain Fade going to be able to pull clear of that 9 Red Bull Audi. You can feel the intensity starting to ramp up as we're coming up on halfway in this race, though.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. Coming up on halfway, these guys starting to... They're still looking around here. This is where we're going to start seeing some big moves be made, because as these guys get a clearer picture of when they can make it to the end of the race, who's pitting where, they're not going to have, what, 2 stops after this, Joe?
They got a stop coming up here and then probably one more stop after that. So, yeah, 2 stops left in this race. At least. Because I would split it up into quarters, right? If we can only go 20 laps, I want to get to lap 20, lap 40, lap 60. I need 3 stops. Because we don't have overtime. That's at least one burden off the crew chief's shoulder here tonight. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in here tonight. I'm Joe. He's Ricky up in the booth here at Daytona for the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series presented by Voiles Trucking. A big thank you to Brian and Kathy Voiles for all they do for not only us here at JTN, for all of the boys here at Bomb Squad Racing. All the support you give.
Coming up on pit stops very shortly here, Joe, as we hit lap 36 of 80. These guys are going to start getting into that window, as I was talking about. Zach Rogers still trying to make that bottom work up. Brain Fade with him. But you see, these guys starting to fall in line because they know it's going to start coming to pit stops very shortly. They want to make sure that everyone's kind of got their chickens in a bunch, chickens in a line, chickens in a row, whatever your phrase for chickens is, and make sure everyone's ready to roll here as they come down when they come down pit road.
Don't count your eggs before they hatch, Ricky. If you're Zach Rogers' Brain Fade right now, you're on the bottom and you're hoping that those guys kind of get stuck on the outside. You kind of force them to go an extra lap, lose the draft. I mean, it's a game you can play. I know it probably gets some eye rolls in the garage area, but it's a game you can play. Hey man, sometimes you gotta be a little cheeky with the strategy at these super speedways. Put yourself in the best position to win them.
Yeah, no, that's the name of the game here. But right now, these guys all just kind of rolling around, getting their bearings. It's a strategy game, you know. It's like playing chess. Everyone else is playing checkers. You're playing chess. Yep. And that's how it feels right now. But you see, these guys starting to group up on that bottom. I'm seeing the 54. Robbie Nisa saying to let these guys by. I see the 66 saying he's pitting.
Nice.
So keep an eye out, because I think these guys are going to start coming down here very shortly. I think they're getting ready for it. Here comes Eli smoking it down on the apron.
Smoke him if you got him.
First car to come down pit road.
That was him only completing his 36th lap of the night, too, so he was virtually a lap down there, so that 114 going to be a little bit off on the fuel mileage. Have to put that team probably hoping for a yellow. There's Nices in the 54. Lap down. They're thinking about pitting. You got your ears on the scanner, right, Ricky?
Yep.
Oh boy, there's some pit stops. Mac Daddy, Keith MC, KJ, Brain Fade. That was a little quick.
I don't think they made that, Joe. Definitely KJ didn't. Keith MC got very close. Brain Fade threw it in. Oh man, those guys braked very late for that. We'll have to see, but I'm not sure that's gonna stand.
I might lose them some track position, is what you're trying to say?
They're gonna probably have to come back down and take a penalty.
That's a race ender if we don't get a yellow, right?
Yes, that absolutely is. Unless we get a yellow, that's really going to hurt you bad. But on the bright side, we're coming up on halfway here, so still plenty of time left in this race to make those decisions, figure out when that yellow is going to come in and out. But look at these guys coming down pit road here. 22, big wiggle, but they're all coming down. They're all throwing it in
Chevy
deep.
Chase, big send. I think
Chase,
he got
big
it down.
Send. Oh, this is going to be tricky. I think Chevy Chase.
I think he might have got it.
Ricky J coming down, Silver Bullet coming down, so we'll have to see who ends up coming back down pit road, if anyone got any penalties there.
DJ Champ going to stay out the extra lap, lead one here.
Seeing the 028 seeing the 028 Monte Keller came down.
I think this is the most level we've been for a super speedway race.
Yo, Joe, 029, 49, 28 still on track, so maybe they didn't get a penalty. Here comes Nelly coming down pit road, gonna be all by his lonesome here. And maybe these guys know something about where that scoring line is that we don't.
Race car drivers always know a couple little secrets they won't tell us, huh?
Yeah, it's a couple times. That's starting to merge back on track, getting up to speed. It'll take a few for us to get this all cycled out. For the moment, we have the 91 listed as leading. That is
Olset or DJ Champ.
Yep, that is DJ Champ, who I think still has to pit.
Yep.
But keep an eye on DJ Champ because he's really stretching this run compared to some of these other guys. He's got a few people with him, some friends in low places there. I'll have to see what ends up happening with this grouping. So these guys that are with him, because coming down right now, coming with the 54, Robbie Nices, 33, BSR Jimmy Dale, really coming down for the most part by himself. 54 really locking him up. But now he's going to have a lot more of a fuel advantage than some of these guys. Is that going to help him later on when these guys have to do their last pit stop? Is he going to have to take less fuel? You know, can he make it to the end on one more stop, basically?
Take a risk.
Yeah, take that risk. You never know what's going to happen. That stands Nelly in the 103, probably would be in the lead position. These guys passing him right now, so I think BSR Chevy Chase in the 096 will assume the lead.
So that is the second time now tonight that the leader coming to pits has lost the lead through the cycle. Keep that in mind as we approach our last pit stop of the night. Rogers with a big move to the bottom of Monte Keller. Going to have a huge head of steam coming up on our presumed leader, Chevy Chase. Going to get to the inside down through turns 1 and 2. Zach Rogers takes over the provisional lead. As they're coming up on the 33, Jimmy Dale going to go down the lap. And then the 91 of DJ Champ, he'll try to cling on to the back of this pack. That's going to be a tall task, too, because they are going supersonic right now.
Supersonic indeed, but will it be enough? Can they get to the end of the race here? This whole thing's going to hinge on strategy on this last stop. Who can come and win it? Oh, 96 and Chevy Chase is around. 28's in with him. Here comes Monte Keller in the 028. Here's going to be a spin, the tri-oval. This is going to bring out a caution here. These guys all going for a long spin. Not a lot of hard hits, Joe, but I would imagine that's going to throw a yellow here. And it does on lap 42 of 80.
Well, now we'll be good on one stop.
Now we'll be good on one stop, that's for sure.
Bet you that replay.
Just tight racing here, Joe. You see the 096 was up top. 22, Rick Craddock, and the 28 of Keith MC get very close to each other. I don't know if, I think Craddock just kind of comes up just a little bit, catches the 096, and you just see it sends him sideways. He goes for a very long slide. Actually almost gets straightened out, but then Keith MC starts to get involved in it. The 028 Monte Keller know where to go, gets into Keith. They both go for a pretty big spin. Not a lot of big hits, just a lot of spinning. So I think a lot of these guys will probably be good for just a few repairs and back running, but
Be worried about the
helps the
28.
entire field because now they get to get a quick caution here.
Be worried about the 28 because I think you might have hit the nose on the wall, and that's usually the good indicator of having some engine damage.
Maybe. We'll have to see.
I mean, they're wrecking for a long time here too. Everyone knows at speed. Well, that's what happens when you're kind of, you're kind of strung out, so everyone's still kind of going as the wreck's happening.
That is true, but
this brings the whole field back together too. It restores the hope for EJ, for Magoo, Silver Bullet, Terry Scott to have a chance to come back and get a good finish out of this race. Whereas if it went green to the end, Ricky, I don't think they would have had the same shot.
I don't think so. I think you're right, and we said it. Some of these guys were gonna be waiting on a yellow, and well, lo and behold, they got it. So that's gonna bring a lot of people back into the fray here, and I guarantee you these guys are gonna be a lot crazier the second stint of the race.
On board. On board with Monty Keller through here. Always a little bit scary to be facing backwards on a super speedway. Especially with all that smoke.
Oh, a little bit scary.
I do not envy that position, but everyone coming down the pit lane, save for DJ Champ. Yeah, a bunch of folks going to get back on the lead lap here as well. Brandon Hawken, though, going to win the race off of pit road. You put a race out there in front of Brandon Hawken and he wins it. That's what he
Always does.
That's what he does. Telling you, you gotta watch that car in tech inspection. Gotta be careful. Dang Toyotas. Don't like that? That's fine, Ricky. You know what you will like? You know what you will like?
What?
Our slate of upcoming races here on JTN, presented by our friends at TWB Technologies. Together, we are better. We're back live next Thursday, September the 2nd. Bomb Squad Cup Series action from the Lady in Black, the Darlington Raceway, 9:05 p.m. Eastern. Then, again at Darlington All-Star Racing Cup Series playoffs kicking off. Darlington on September the 8th. September 9th, then the Bomb Squad Cup Series heads up to Richmond, capital of Virginia, 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time there. April the 12th, special event with the Autry Waits Memorial, dedicating a race to a fellow sim racer, but an even better friend for all the guys over at All-Star Racing, and I'm sure a big support there for that one at Texas. And then the TMP late models kick off the TMP ASRA season on September the 13th from Milwaukee. All of those races, of course, live only on JTN. Can I get your Robin Williams impression, Ricky?
What? I don't even know how to do that.
No?
Ooh. That's my Robin Williams impression. I don't know how to do a Robin Williams impression.
Folks, as always, be a friend, tell a friend about us here on JTN. We appreciate it so much when you share our links. Whether you do it on your socials, text messages, whatever it may be, it helps support us so much. Again, know there's a lot of new faces. Maybe you're watching this live, or you're watching the replay going through our archives. Can't thank you enough for all your support, especially last night was a fantastic time, fantastic event. See so many new names and whatnot, and we hope to see more of you guys sticking around, and hopefully you enjoy us talking. We got other great content here on JTN too with the Fake Racers podcast. I've been doing some diecast reviews, some little short video things relating to racing that are a little kind of fun for me. hoping to get these other knuckleheads here at JTN to do some of that type of content too here. But can't thank you folks enough. There we go. Can't thank you folks enough. Thank you, Allie. Can't thank you folks enough for all the support you give us, and we really do appreciate it so much. And Bristol got a bunch of extra head pats, so he really appreciates it too. I don't think people because like there's a lot of new people last night. I don't think they understood the Bristol the producer thing, because we didn't get to show the fetching replay sign until like the very end of the race. They're like, "What do you mean give Bristol pats on the head?" I tried explaining
Bristol on the head, you know. That's what it is.
I tried explaining to them. You know what I mean? I tried saying, "Hey, Bristol," they didn't know. Okay, didn't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's hard to talk to a young puppet like that. Thank you, Danny. I appreciate that. We appreciate that. These guys out here, though, they're putting in work tonight, running a fantastic super speedway race. Let's go on the Briscoe diecast. Love to hear it. I ended up getting the 124 of his High Point car for this year too. This past weekend, Ricky. That was fun. Now I just need Keselowski's rookie car, and I got them all. I think that one might be a little more expensive though.
Maybe just a little bit.
A little bit. Unfortunate circumstances for a diecast collector. Getting ready to go back green flag racing. We line up like this. DJ Champ, he's got the lead with Furco to the inside, who is a lap down. Brandon Hawkin and Brain Fade going to make up row number 2. Rick Craddock, Zach Rogers, Ricky J, and Magoo making up rows 3 and 4. Row 5 going to be Nelly and Chevy Chase, Terry Scott, Eli, Monty Keller, Silver Bullet, Jimmy Dale, Robbie Nice's, Mac Daddy Keith MC, and KJ. Rounding out your field here as we get ready to go back green flag racing from Daytona. Can I get your best Daytona USA impression here on the restart, Ricky?
Do 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 do.
Green flag. Yeah.
Daytona.
You're supposed to say Daytona right as we went back green. That was the... Ricky, what kind of engineer are you?
Mechanical.
Yeah. We're supposed to be more creative than that. Guy making a creative pass for the lead. Rick Craddock got up to speed there in that 22. He's to the inside of Brandon Hawkin for the lead. Furco right now out in front of the bubble, trying to get onto the lead lap. I do believe. Could be misinformed. It's happened before. It'll happen again. Craddock trying to get up in front of Brandon Hawkin in that 99. No, my goodness, Ricky.
Joe, they're 3 wide for the lead. 22's on the bottom, 99's on top. Furco's stuck in that old sucker hole there.
He's in the sucker hole. Craddock goes to the lead. Ricky J looking for it now to the bottom with Zach Rogers behind him, giving him a good shove down the back straightaway. That outside line, though, right now formed up a lot better. They're going to have a big run. Hawkin all over the back bumper of Craddock. Craddock in the lead in that 22 ski machine. And it's Hawkin, Ricky J, DJ Champ, and Zach Rogers, your top 5 right now into 1 and 2, or 3 and 4.
Brandon Hawkin pulling away from this pack, splitting up with that 22 Rick Craddock. He's really got no one other than that 22 machine up ahead of him. That 99 that Brandon Hawkin does. Right now, look like they're staying up top. See the bottom? Again, tail of the bottom tonight. Trying to form up. Ricky J getting a big push from Zach Rogers right there. Trying to keep with this group. It's a little tricky because Furco's spaced out a little bit behind him. Joe, also Furco in the 19 there is 13 laps down.
Okay.
Just to let you know.
Yeah. We've seen a lot of tops out there tonight, not a lot of bottoms, you know?
Not a lot of bottoms, but right now you see that these guys at 193 and that 9 are really trying to make that work right now. And I think they just need a little bit of help. You see KJ a little further back, and the 4 a little further back. They're there. They just need to kind of all group up, because that top line looks like they're not staying formed up the way that they need to be consistently fast. You see Eli hit the wall just a little bit in that 114. Here comes a 91 though of DJ Champ. He doesn't want to run it around anymore. He wants to race. Gonna dive to the bottom here. Gonna wait for Ricky J to catch him, and there he does. Coming right off of turn 2. Gonna give him that 91 a big bump to 193. As the 9's right behind him. He's gonna give him a big push. Now Zach Rogers actually dives up top. Try to see if he can leapfrog these guys. You see that low line starting to move again, and there's a little bit of a gap on the 096 of Chevy Chase to the 9 of Zach Rogers, as that 91, that 193 is starting to move together.
Look at that sunset there in the background off of turn number 3. This is the Daytona International Speedway. JTN's call of the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series presented by Voiles Trucking, as we're working race number 26 of 36 here. Or it might be 27 of 37.
27, 37, 57.
Because we ran the All-Star week, right? We ran a cup race, or did we run an All-Star race?
Ran a something race.
I know we ran a race, because that was the Texas Marathon. Right now, it started out as a marathon here tonight, but it's quickly becoming a sprint. Under 30 laps to go at Daytona. This is where you're starting to set yourself up for that last pit stop too, isn't it, Ricky?
Yeah, you're just trying to set yourself up for that last pit stop. And for the moment, a lot of these guys, like we said, really going to be all grouped in here.
Pretty much everyone except the 91 came down the pit lane under that last caution, but DJ Champ was just getting out of pit lane when the caution came out, so not a surprising move there from the 91 team to try to grab some track position, because even though they've started on the pole, they really haven't had it all night long. Still trying to get that bottom to work. Right now they got 4 cars down there, and they're holding steady right now with the third place machine of the Brain Fade there in that 49 Dodge Dart.
Yeah, they're starting to hold steady here. DJ Champ really starting to try to pull ahead. Just barely there on Brandon Hawkins with a fender. Just needs that extra little bit of oomph there to get alongside second place, which is interesting because there's only a 4-car breakaway on the bottom right now, but it does show how much setup does take into account on this. 91's fast, the 193 is fast. A lot of these guys that are on the bottom, we know those cars are fast, and you really see that they're making that work right now. That up top, they're starting to bunch back up together. You see the 99 give the 22 a big shove, 49 goes with them. It's hard here because going around the bottom of the track at a shorter distance, you see how much second place, as he actually gets alongside the 99 Brandon Hawkins, the 91 BSR DJ Champ does, but the high line gets the runs going down the straightaways, so they can make up a ton of ground, but they lose it by the time they hit the line. But just little by little, it seems like they're starting to make some progress. JoeTowNetwork named Monty Keller actually is coming down with them, so I hope I stuck up. Zach Rogers starting to look down there. Looks like Zach Rogers going to go to the bottom. 91 BSR DJ Champ alongside Brandon Hawkins for the second place position. They're starting to form up that low line, Joe. I know I've been saying it all night, but look at that. There's actually a low line.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Ask and you shall receive here on JTN.
Okay, look at that enough and you shall receive. That is what's written in the Constitution.
I think so. Is that like article, is that amendment like 36 or something?
Something like that. I think it's somewhere in the cliff notes. 91, the BSR DJ Champ, holding steady with Brandon Hawkins here for that second spot, but Rick Craddock in that 22 still hanging on to the lead. You're really starting to see this is starting to look very Daytona-y. These 2x2x2x2x2 all behind the leader here. That 91 is going to make a deep dive into turn 1, turn 2 here. Gets alongside Brandon Hawkins. Actually starts to get his nose a little bit ahead. Gets to the inside of 22. Rick Craddock. We got him side by side coming down the back straightaway here. That high line going to get a little bit of a run. Like I said, that high line's fast going down the straightaways. And you see how much of a difference that makes. So 91 basically drops back and then rises up about 2 car lengths by the time they come into the turns. And come in and out of the turns respectively. And again, side by side with our leader coming down the front straightaway.
Side by side for the lead, now side by side for second. Hawkin on the outside, DJ Champ on the inside. Rick Craddock, though, he loves what he's seeing behind him because that 91 car has not been able to get completely even with that 22, even though that inside line has started to work. You're also noticing Craddock, he's leading that outside line a little bit higher than what we've seen all night. Really, the outside line's been the middle line through the corners because there's just a little bit of extra grip there in that middle line that really makes it competitive. So as those inside guys start kind of finding their way up the track, like we're starting to see with DJ Champley in this line, they're going to be able to start gaining some ground. But still, the numbers advantage is going to that outside as we're coming up on those pit stops.
And you're right, they're going to stay on the number advantage, still going to stay on the top side. You actually see that 91 starting to lose a little ground to Brain Fade in third there. They have a valiant effort going. That low line is formed up. It's just right now, it's tricky because Brandon Hawken is really shoving that 22 for all it's worth. Every time they get there, that 99 just hooks up to the 22. And it's not even just like he's not slam drafting him, he is coordinated bump drafting. He's getting right up to that back bumper, staying there, down the straightaways, through the turns. That really gives him a good push, really helps him hang on to this lead. See Brandon Hawken doing that right there. Knows exactly how much to let off and how much to drag the brake there to stay on that 22 without completely running him over. Yeah. And it's really helping him. That 99 and 22 working so well together right now.
Well, what's the distinction between slam drafting and what Brandon Hawken's doing right now? Is it just that he's given Rick Craddock a little bit of room right now, or what is the big differentiator there?
Slam drafting is like if you keep kind of coming back from, I don't know, like
half a car length, yeah,
or more, and just kind of giving the guy big shots going down the straightaway. You're quite literally slamming into the back of him. What Brandon Hawken's doing, you see it. He's very much pacing himself in that second spot. He's not letting that gap between him and the 22 get that considerably big. He's making sure he's staying tucked up to that back bumper. He's not pushing Craddock all the way around the track because obviously that would cause a wreck if he pushed him too hard. But he's trying to make sure that he is kind of adjusting himself for how much he checks up relative to how much the 22 checks up, so that his time differential on our leader stays pretty much constant around the track. Really helps maximize that draft.
This helicopter cam does a good job of that. You see Hawken all over the back bumper, that 22. He starts to enter the corners. He gives him just a little bit of room because you don't want to be on that bumper through the corners with the way this game works, right? You don't want to be on somebody's bumper through the corners in a real race car either, but Hawken doing a really good job of pushing that 22. But Ricky, as this race goes on, that's not a sustainable strategy if the 99 wants to get to victory lane, is it?
No, it's not a sustainable strategy, and they're going to have to start making some decisions about what's ultimately going to be needed here at the end of all this. For right now, though, Brandon Hawken probably wants to hang on to this second place spot and kind of ride it out here until they get down pit road and get those 4 tires so that they can basically make it to the end from there.
And the window is open right now to make it to the end. You can pit this time. You'll be able to make it on fuel. Nobody, I would be very shocked to see anyone taking 4 tires. There might be some guys even planning on taking no tires and doing like a can and a half of gas too. So just going to be something interesting to watch to see if what the calls are on the pit lane, how these guys are going to try to gain some time for themselves on pit road. Because it has been a uphill battle once you get into that top 5 to try to gain those positions. It seems like that's really where that big barrier has come into play. You get into the top 5 and you're really good, but Nelly, you see he's riding right now in 6th, Chevy Chase there in 5th. Those guys came from all the way in the back of the field to start this race. They've worked their way up towards the front, but they just haven't been able to get to the front without using those pit cycles. That's how we saw Chevy Chase get to the lead earlier.
And you see those guys coming up on that lap car there. Furco gets on by, no issue. Right now, we're about 19 laps to go, coming to the line for 18. We're really going to start dancing around with that pit window. So it's going to be an interesting question of who comes in when. Like I said, I'd almost say you might want to go a little conservative coming onto pit road just to make sure that you can get back off with no issue. As long as you got a draft in the car, you can catch back up to the field, I think.
All Are we pitting early or are we pitting late now on this last stop?
Ooh, it's going to be tough. I don't know, because if you pit early and there's a caution, you kind of put yourself in a weird spot. If you pit late and there's a caution, you're going to put yourself up front.
If you pit late and there's a caution, or if the caution comes out in the middle of the cycle, I mean, that's...
Yeah, if you still haven't pitted yet, you'll probably be up front. You see the 91s coming down pit road all by lonesome. Once again, we saw DJ Champ do this earlier. Really pushes it onto pit road. We'll see if scoring likes that.
It's kind of... If you're coming down by yourself, it has to be fuel only, right?
Yeah, I would have to imagine. Keep an eye out on this 91 on what he does here. Coming to his pit stall. Coming to a stop. And he's taken 2 tires at least.
Oh.
Yep, just 2 tires on the 91 BSR DJ Champ, which 2 tires you can get away with. If you're having to cap it off on fuel anyways, it's going to take about the same amount of time. Keep an eye out. You see the 49 of Furco really going to throw it in deep here coming down pit road. Here comes the 66 of Terry Scott with him. Furco making sure he gets down smoothly. And he does. Furco on pit road with Terry Scott.
Brain fade in that 49 Dodge Dart gets out of the pit lane. Terry Scott does as well. Come on, Ricky. I got made fun of yesterday for liking the Dodge Dart.
I like the new one.
Yeah.
I like it. Nice little small car. I mean, they're kind of old now, but...
they're still expensive, let me tell you.
Yeah.
You know,
all these guys coming around track. Got some cars on pit road right now. Nelly, Terry Scott, Brain Fade all coming off right now. Big pack. Keep an eye out on this car. It's all coming down. Brandon Hawkins coming down. The 22 coming down. The 096 Ricky J slides it in. Oh, 4 wide coming out pit road. They make contact.
Chevy Chase Rick
Craddock out there with him. And the 096 of Chevy Chase is sideways in the grass.
I think Craddock...
There's a 360. No caution.
Said, I don't think he really appreciated that 096 on the pit lane, did he?
I don't think a lot of these guys appreciate a lot of what happened there, but my goodness, 4 wide coming to pit road. That usually doesn't work. Brandon Hawkins coming right back off. No tires. Here comes Ricky J right behind KJ. So Ricky J did kind of cash out there by sliding in if he keeps it without any penalty, but I haven't really seen anyone with any big speeding penalties here. Here comes Magoo, though. 103 Nelly, 9 Zach Rogers, 33 Jimmy Dale. Monty Geller in the 028, all coming down. And Jimmy Dale almost gets to the back of Nelly, but they all make it through, all clear. Keep an eye out, because we're going to have to see. These guys are all going to get back up to speed. They're all going to be fractured out. Who's going to pull out where? Is the 91 going to get an advantage for pitting early? Is he going to get set back for it? Who's going to be the leader when all of this cycles through? Because right now, we got a few different varying strategies. I'm seeing a lot of people not taking tires and just taking fuel here, though.
Right now, Brandon Hawkins at 99 is really what you're looking at. Probably cycling out as the leader. He's got KJ all over his back bumper right now. Coming into the tri-oval. Off of pit road, Zach Rogers. Magoo won the race off the pit lane. Zach Rogers there. So it's going to be watching the gap. So we'll wait to see. There's Brandon Hawkins and KJ, that red car and that blue car. But Magoo looking like he's going to cycle out as the leader here.
That's going to be interesting if Magoo can make it to the leader here. Let's just see if he has to pit. Has he?
He came down pit lane. Yep. He just came down with Rogers and Nelly and.
Oh yeah, you're right. Well, then we'll have to see what if that holds. Then Magoo's going to be in a good position here. The problem is he's going to have Zach Rogers and Nelly both rearing down on him with draft. They're going to have a ton of help here. Come across the line for lap 68 of 80. 13 laps to go here at Daytona. BSR Magoo in the 144 leading him around. Zach Rogers in second. Look at Zach Rogers. We were talking about him all night. Playing the aggressive game. Finally starting to pay off here.
Not afraid to make a move.
In second with Nelly giving him a big push. Will they stay behind Magoo? He's going to have to make the pass. They'll come with a huge head steam. Gets to the inside. Magoo getting a big push from Nelly. Monty Keller on the bottom going with him. But don't look now. Brandon Hawkins and KJ in that 029. The dynamic duo there. Stuck with this front group. They're going to pull into this pack. They're going to assume into this whole little top 5 shuffle, and they're still in this race here. Brandon Hawkin trying to take that high line, trying to get around Magoo, but he needs some help. KJ's getting behind him. The bright side, this group's a little smaller right now, so pulling out a line, trying to make like small single car passes is a little more doable than it was with a whole big heap of cars. And for the moment, the next set of cars that really is going to reel these guys in is probably the 22 Rick Craddock, Ricky J, and the 193 and the 49 of Brain Fade, 7, 8, 9. But they still got a little bit of a ways to go. 3 cars together.
Gonna be hard.
Can they pull off 10 laps is going to be the question. For right now, Zach Rogers leading here at Daytona. Going to be coming up on the 096 of BSR Chevy Chase. Chevy Chase going to stay up high, let these guys on by. Going to be 3 wide here, getting past this lap car, but they all keep it clean, keep it green. Coming to the line here for 11 laps to go.
11 to go in this one. Zach Rogers out front. Nelly in second. Jimmy Dale 3 laps down in that 33, the yellow, red, and black Harley Davidson Ford. Hawkin looking to his outside to try to get up to the back bumper of Nelly and try to make a pass to get back into the lead in that 99 Toyota. But Zach Rogers right now, I'd want to be in the 9's shoes right now, right? I mean, you got a small pack, so the blocking, the traffic, the draft management is going to be very doable right now. That 9 car in a very good position as Hawkin continues to look the outside of Nelly, trying to get and take over that second position.
Nelly's looking, Brandon Hawkins looking. He's right up by the wall, right up by that white paint, just looking for a spot to make a pass on Zach Rogers to come across the line for 10 to go here, Joe.
And of course, it's our favorite segment of the night, our TWB 10 to go. And on behalf of TWB, we'd want to point your attention to the fine folks at GardenLightsDirect.com. Porches to patios to more for all of your outdoor lighting needs. Head on over to GardenLightsDirect.com. They got you covered. That's GardenLightsDirect.com. GardenLightsDirect.com here on your TWB 10 to go. I have to head on over there so I can get some lights for my balcony that I got in my new apartment.
That's pretty good. You see KJ a little further back here in the 4th spot, getting to the inside of Magoo. But right now, Zach Rogers trying to defend, but he's got Nelly to his outside.
Nelly with a big push from Brandon Hawkin.
A big push from Brandon Hawkin. They're side by side here, coming to lap 72. 9 laps to go here. Nelly making a big run on Zach Rogers. Rogers has no help at the moment. Really is stuck out there in no man's land.
Nelly with a big push from Brandon Hawkin gets into the lead in the 103. Medicine Chest Pharmacy Chevrolet. Now the outside line is cooking. KJ moves to the inside of Brandon Hawkin. Zach Rogers is the only guy down on the bottom, and that 9 car has all the momentum sucked out of it right now. KJ looking for the lead, trying to get to the quarter panel, and Nelly not going to be able to do it here as that outside line, again, going to get a big run off the corner.
And a big run off the corner. KJ really trying to hang on to it. Needs some help there on the bottom if he wants to make it work, but Magoo and Monty Keller on that outside going to be rolling on by him. Well, do they want to stay behind Brandon Hawkin here? Does Brandon Hawkin want to stay behind Nelly here? This is going to be a big question. A lot of loyalty right now in this front group. It seems like everyone's out for their own right now.
Rightfully so.
I think they're going to start trying to leapfrog each other the closer we get to go time here.
Coming down to the end of this one. Nelly out front. Hawkin, Magoo, Keller, and now Rogers has taken over the 5th position. KJ there in 6th, that 096 of Chevy Chase, a lap down after the pit road incident. Rogers looking to the inside of Monty Keller for 4th.
Zach Rogers, Monty Keller side by side for that 4th position. Rogers really trying to hang on to it. He's looking to the inside of Magoo. Going to get to the inside here. Got to draft off Brandon Hawkin. Really trying to force his way through there to catch that draft. And here comes Brandon Hawkin down low with Nelly. He's got Zach Rogers behind him. They're going to be side by side coming into turn 1 here. Coming through turn 2 there. Going to be in a dead heat, but that top line's got the numbers, Joe.
I was going to say that 99 really needed to try to get clear of the 103 to have a chance at taking over the lead. Now that outside line is formed up, they're going to give a big push to Nelly. He goes and maintains the point. Now Magoo in 2nd. What does the 144 do here in the closing stages of this race?
It's going to be all up to Magoo here. I would imagine he wants to win this race. He's going to have to figure out how to do it, but he's in a very prime position for it at the moment. They get a big run here, pushing that 103, the 028, and Monty Keller trying to get on by Brandon Hawkin as well. Can't pull that off just yet, though, so they'll stay in line. But those 2 guys on the bottom are really getting freight trained. They need some help. They need somebody to jump down there with them. I saw Chevy Chase starting to kind of toy with it, but it seems like he's kind of non-committal to it at the moment.
Oh,
But for
and
the moment, 103 of Nelly holding on to this lead and really holding on to it for all it's worth as Magoo's pushing him down the back straightaway here.
Hawken gonna slide up in front of KJ, gonna try to get a big push. He gets a solid push down into 3. KJ not really letting him in line. As now Hawkins continues to look to the inside of Monty Keller for 3rd. Magoo all over the back bumper and Nelly for the lead.
Brandon Hawken needs a little bit of draft there. You see he's really trying to like not be in that line, but also be in that line. You see KJ get to the inside of the 99. KJ's going to try to venture down there. We see Brandon Hawken try to get that draft and try to set up a run to the inside. He just needs that right opportunity. They're going to come up on the lap car here. The Ford BSR Silver Bullet had to come down pit road. These guys going to be coming up on him quick as he's still getting up to speed, 184 miles an hour. Going to give that leader a big toe here coming down the back straightaway. So we'll have to see. They're all going to have to move to the inside. Does this fracture up the field? Do these guys start having to scatter, or do they hang on to that center lane? For the moment, it looks like the center lane is going to prevail.
You have to almost set up these passes a lap in advance, and what you're instead of fighting for the bottom right now, it seems like you're fighting for the top. Saw Hawken try to find a way to the outside of Monty Keller, wasn't able to do it. But you have to set up these passes a lap in advance. You're going to lag back a little bit, try to get a good run, and you want to time that run for it to be coming off of the corner. That's really going to be your best chances to try to pass a guy down the straightaway because, yeah, you can get even with someone through the corner, but that outside line just really prevailing with exit speed down these long straightaways here at Daytona.
These long straightaways, you see Monty Keller starting to peak just a little bit, just looking. He knows that if he jumps out of line and no one goes with him, he's going to be in a bad spot here. This is where it's going to get tricky. These last few laps, everyone's single file. Who moves out when? Who makes a big move? But they are all there. They're all ready to roll. And we're going to find out here as they come across the line for 3 laps to go. Nelly's still leading. Can he hang on? You see KJ jumping to the bottom of the inside of Brandon Hawken. Coming down the front straightaway, he's going to get a big draft off of Monty Keller, who actually has to move down the track a little bit. KJ's going to leapfrog that 99 Brandon Hawken, take the position. Brandon Hawken going to have to let KJ fall in line there. This is what I was talking about. These guys can leapfrog each other one spot at a time. They just got to make sure they coordinate it well, because if you don't, you're losing quite a bit of ground. But for right now, KJ playing it quite beautifully as he's up to the 4th spot. He goes to the inside of Monty Keller. Brandon Hawken sees the writing on the wall. He's going to go with him. Goes to the inside of the 028. They're going to be side by side for 3rd place. And here comes Zach Rogers behind him. And then here comes Chevy chasing 096. They're going to be basically split even here, Joe, top and bottom.
Coming to 2 laps to go this time at the line. The inside loses the momentum off the corner. Magoo looked to the bottom. He looks to the outside. Nelly doing a good job of keeping him covered right now as we head down into 1 and 2. Monty Keller now going to be on the outside looking in. He turns across the nose.
Goes around it. They're all collected in that. This is going to be down to Magoo. And Magoo gets to the inside of Nelly. He's got a big run coming down the back straightaway here.
We'll go back to the wreck in a second. We watch the battle for the lead, the battle for the win down the back straightaway. Magoo to the inside, Nelly on the outside. It's really going to come down to who wants it more late in the going. Down into turn 3, Nelly with the preferred line.
Magoo's got that shorter way around the track, though, Joe. They don't have any drafts, so Magoo's going to get the advantage. But coming down the front straightaway, can they make it? It's going to be a drag race to the start-finish line.
They get close. They side draft down into the tri-oval. It's going to be a photo finish. Nelly gets it. Caution flag in the air. It's the checkered flag. Nelly going to win it here at Daytona tonight after that 2 to go incident down in turns 1 and 2.
By 3/100ths of a second.
Have you ever? Yes.
A couple times.
I was going to say this is one of those cases where you could say that. Get you a replay of those wrecks here in a second, folks. Oh boy, how the turns table.
Now the turntables turned. Tables turned.
Everyone else coming into this, nowhere to go.
Yeah, it's a tricky part. Just everyone going for the same real estate right at the end of the race.
And with the 22, you're going to see exactly what he saw behind the wheel. You see the wreck up in front, and at that point, you're just gunning it, trying to make sure you can make it through. Tried to go under KJ, and I don't know who that was flipping with him. Zach Rogers, not able to do so. Bunch of big hits there. Seeing all the drivers walking away, though, okay. That's always a good sight to see.
Joe Nelly's just come across the line, and he is officially the winner of tonight's event.
That's a good way to win 2 super speedways in a row, huh?
Oh, yeah, not too bad. Yeah, Nelly got that 103 car. Is pretty good at these super speedway races.
Won last night in the trucks, won at Talladega earlier this year on JTN. I have to say that both were in spectacular fashion with the way the end of these races went. One more replay from the helmet cam of Brandon Hawkins down into turn 1. Nelly, burn it down. Your winner at Daytona. You'd think a lot of these super speedways would be they'd be similar, but it seems like they all have their own little unique quirks to them.
Yeah, that's the name of the game. Sometimes they all kind of have their own little things going on.
Okay, now I've lost him in the smoke. Turns it down. He'll take it to victory lane and we'll get to talk with the driver of the 103. We'll also talk with Magoo, our second place finisher here tonight, as well as Brain Fade, who snuck through that wreck to finish 3rd. We'll get those interviews here in a second in your post-race results. Remember, folks, if you do gotta go, if you're gonna drop off the coverage here at the end of it, make sure you leave a like on the video. We appreciate that so much. It helps with all the algorithms is the big thing, and getting these videos distributed to more people, get new eyeballs on everything, and it means a lot to us too when you go and share these videos. And can't thank you enough for tuning in as always, hitting the like button and making sure you're subscribed here on JTN. Nifty little race here tonight, huh?
Oh, definitely a nifty little race. Really fun.
What's your biggest takeaway after tonight?
Strategy is king. Some of those guys at the end, we didn't know where they were going to cycle through, and after everything, they played it beautifully and ended up. They played it beautifully. We're all set to roll there at the end. I didn't see the 144 in it at the end of the race. He ended up being the second place finisher. So just shows you what happens if you just stick to a strategy.
Stick to your guns, folks. Stick to your guns. Figuratively. Results on your screen. Again, we're going to be talking with our top 3. Now, go ahead. Go bottom to top tonight. Does that sound like a plan?
Yeah, sure, let's do it.
Going bottom to top. Driver, the number 49 here tonight. Brain Fade, you got a copy?
Yes, Joe, I got a copy.
What defensive driving school do I go to make sure I make it through the big one at Daytona? Because apparently you know how to do it.
Just remember the rule, the apron is your friend. There's a lot of real estate up there that's not on the wall side, so I saw that and I was sitting there going, duck low, and I did, and luckily I was in 3rd.
Let's talk about the race tonight, because it seemed like the bottom really didn't come in. It didn't seem like anyone was able to really get that working. Was that surprising to you guys? Was it something you guys saw coming? Was that outside or middle groove, whatever you want to call it? Was that just Was it really gripped up, really dominant? What kind of caused that bottom to not be viable unless you really had the numbers down there?
Yeah, the outside just carries the momentum off the corner, and the bottom kind of scrubs it. So unless you got a really bigger line on the bottom than on top, the bottom's gonna just barely hold equal or fade back. I mean, I like running the bottom just because you've got that little security blanket down there on the apron you can run to if you need to. But yeah, up top, you just run into the wreck if it's in front of you.
Let's talk about that too, because it seemed like everyone was very courteous throughout tonight's race. It's we had the one caution that came out around
lap 43.
Yep.
Yeah, I was just looking at it.
What made the racing? Because a lot of times you see these super speedways and you see it's the little mistakes that cause those big wrecks, and I think that's what we saw tonight. Wrecks were caused by the little mistakes.
Yep. On lap 43, a car just drifted up a little and caught the back corner of I think it was 096 and turned him around. So
how do you guys as a group, as a league, how do you guys do such a great job of kind of minimizing those little mistakes here at the super?
It's just a lot of track time.
Oh.
We run super speedways every Saturday for decades, for over a decade. So it's a lot of seat time.
So what you're saying is if folks are looking for some great super speedway racing, they should go to bombsquadracing.net?
It's a good place.
Well,
gone nowhere else, in I don't know how many years. So.
Well, Brain, you did a great job tonight. 3rd place finish. That's got to feel good, especially starting all the way back in 17th, able to make your way up and through the field, avoid the big one at the end. Before we let you go, though, the floor is yours. I know you got a bunch of people to thank. Now's the time to do so.
Well, I'd like to thank, all the admins, Magoo, everybody else that does all the admin and get these, keep these races going. Of course, the Voiles for, sponsoring all this stuff. I wish Brian was here, but he's got to work. You guys up in the booth, you, Joe and Ricky, you're doing a great job. I know. I'm looking forward to watching this one. And, looking forward to the next one.
For Darlington, good track, good track, bad track. How you feeling about next week?
It's a survival track.
Okay.
I'm never strong there, and basically, I just want to finish with 4 wheels on the car.
Hey, it's the little goals and meeting them that really strengthen us, right?
I run these things for the points, and so I need to try to make a finish. And I'd be better off finishing 10th than trying to win and finishing 15th.
That is great advice to all the young racers out there. Brain, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us after this one. Congratulations on the great run here tonight, and good luck next week at Darlington.
All right, thank you. Take care.
BSR Brain Fade, driver the number 49 Dodge, 3rd place finisher here tonight. Ricky, pick a number, any number between 103 and 144.
130.
Okay. Bringing in our 2nd place finisher, driver the number 144, Magoo.
How you doing, Joe?
I'm doing great.
Man, that was just such a fun race, man. I hope you guys had as much fun broadcasting as we did racing. That was a fun race right
there. It was fun to watch because you guys do such a great job of being courteous to each other, but you can tell that everyone's kind of pushing their stuff. We asked Brain about it, but did you feel behind the wheel tonight that bottom line were people kind of scared of using it? What do you think went into that line not being too viable until the end when everyone was trying to get to the front and get to the victory lane?
Well, I tested it out early in the run in the race before the first pit cycle, and tried to get the low line moving. So it moved me all the way back to like 12th, 15th place. It really took me the whole race to work my way back up to be in contention. But, sometimes the bottom line comes in really good at Daytona. Tonight, it just seemed to not hold its weight as well. So I didn't want to touch it till at the end. And then I had a couple of opportunities where I probably could have capitalized, but I was just gun shy for pulling the trigger on it.
Why do you think that was?
I'm not sure. I'm not so sure. I know as far as myself, man, I've dropped my tire pressure down a little bit, and that might be, helping the bottom stay stagnant a little bit. Some others may have done that too. We used to run a little bit higher tire pressures, but if you get stuck on the bottom, it can get really tricky if the upper line's holding you tight.
Yeah.
If you can drift up, it's a lot more, forgiving, but sometimes somebody will pin you down really tight. And so I'd had to drop my tire pressure down a little bit to help me be stable. And I really suspect some other drivers have done that too. It's almost like, Joe, you almost need an extra car. You can't be even and win on the bottom.
Well, able to get all the way up into second here at the end of this one. Running up towards the front. What we saw earlier in the race, the pit strategy, the pit stops didn't really cycle through in your favor, but we saw you were able to kind of course correct. And on that last pit stop, you were able to leapfrog your way all the way to the front of the field. What did you learn on that first pit stop where you guys lost the time that you learned and then applied to that last pit stop to make sure that you put yourself at the advantage?
For me, you're exactly right. It worked out opposite for me. I burned the extra lap on the first cycle, wound up losing so much time. I just ate it on the second cycle. That was the better way to go. DJ, if we hadn't had that caution come out, he ran the extra laps too, but unfortunately we didn't get to see the race unfold for that to play out in DJ's favor tonight. But, sometimes we have such a competitive field and there's super fast sim racers here. So sometimes feathering the gas pedal and getting that extra lap, you pay for at the end of the race. But if you got, 3 or 4 guys on the same strategy, it can work. I think that's the best thing I like about this clubhouse. There's so much talent in here. You can have such a huge differences of strategies. And man, with the good long green runs like we had tonight, it makes it really interesting.
It was an interesting race indeed. Ricky and I didn't have to be yelling too about you guys going 3 wide and calling you guys a bunch of names and being dumb and stuff, like we see with some of these super speedways and even the professionals doing it. But Magoo, congratulations once again on the second place run. Again, as always, thank you for helping bring us at JTN out to these races. They're always fantastic. You guys do such a great job here at Bomb Squad. But before we let you go, I know you got people to shout out, so floor is yours, buddy.
Thank you very much. Man, my first shout out has to be to JTN. Man, you guys really put on a good show broadcasting, you and Ricky Collette. You guys do an amazing job. Kathy Voiles, Brian Voiles, and Voiles Trucking, they pump so much money into our clubhouse, sponsoring these televised races. Can't thank them guys enough. Man, I've got a panel of admins that I've had for 15 years. Them guys are second to none. We all keep each other laughing. And the rest of the guys that come in to the clubhouse to race and have fun, that's what it's all about. And if you don't mind, man, I've had a host of some funerals. Man, I got to give a shout out to a couple people. One I missed, Dave Hardy, rest in peace, sir. Dave Harris, rest in peace. And a couple more that I'll be attending. But, we all have a lot of challenges with life and pressure and a lot of drama. And having this clubhouse and this group of guys in this sim racing makes it extra special that we can all come in and get together and support each other and have a lot of fun. So again, man, I have to tip my hat to everybody. We all keep it fun, and thank you guys for the coverage. Thank you.
Magoo, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us after this one. Congratulations on the second place run. Thoughts and prayers with you and all the families. And good luck next week at Darlington, because I have a feeling that 144 is going to be humming again next week.
Man, you guys will be making fun of me. That is my worst track. I promise you I'll be in the back. Thank you. guys have a good night. Thanks, JTM.
Magoo, driver of the 144, second place finisher here from Daytona. Now we move on. We made him wait a long time because we wanted to make sure he had time to celebrate with the crew, with the fans, right, Nelly? I think that's how we do it. We want to make sure you.
Yep.
Hey, because
I had plenty of time.
The crew chief's going to take all the credit for that pit strategy, but man, you were aggressive coming to pit road there.
Well, that's how you got to be.
Spoken like a race car driver. I gotta be aggressive. I gotta be the best. Let's talk about, because you won last night in the trucks. You also won the last time we were out here in the Cup Series on a super speedway at Talladega in the spring. How are you so dang good at this type of racing?
I have no idea. I just hang out in the back and just hopefully the pit stops work out good. And then for the last, after the last pit stop, that's when you race for it.
Let's talk about racing for it at the end. How did you, because at that point, that was the smallest pack we had at the night for the lead. When you get to the lead, how do you manage those guys behind you? Is there anything you're doing? Is there, I mean, don't give all your secrets, but what are you doing to kind of manage those guys behind you?
A lot of mirror driving. Just trying to ride or drive the lane that I think my car is the fastest at.
And we saw that inside line struggle all night long. Did you ever feel like there was a time where maybe they were going to get it going? Was there any real fear outside of maybe, they get 4, you guys had 3 or something like that? But was there anything that you're kind of looking for, keeping your eyes peeled for, to see if that would help them get the good run on the bottom?
If they'd get enough people down there.
Yeah.
That was it. I like the high line. My car don't handle good down low.
It doesn't like it down there?
No.
Well, let's talk about the points battle, because you came into tonight, I believe it was 60, 70 points out of first. Ricky J obviously out front after that big string of wins that he had earlier this year, but you closed the gap for the lead in the points tonight with him finishing outside the top 5. What is it?
He's still got a big lead.
Yeah, but you closed the gap. Come on.
Yeah.
We're being positive here. You just won the race. Come on. Positivity.
I stretched it out on third place guy.
There you go. But, I mean, let's talk about that, because we still have 10 races left, right?
Yep.
What do you need to do? What do you, setup-wise, behind the wheel-wise, what do you have to do to try to close that gap, to kind of start putting some pressure on them to have to execute as the season goes out? Because you said it there, big
just
lead.
To be a better driver, I think. Or that, and get my car to handle like his, or be as fast as his. He's fast.
But you're fast, too.
I know. Just got that a little bit more. Hey, I beat him tonight. That's all that matters.
You've beaten him a couple times this year.
Yep.
There we go. But Nelly, a great run here tonight, victorious at Daytona. Is there any? I know it's a game, it's a sim, whatever. I don't want to offend anyone out there by calling it a game, but is there anything extra special about winning at Daytona, even though it is NR 2003? You're not actually at Daytona, or is it just another race for you?
It's special winning a super speedway race to me, because I really don't like them that well. And then you get lucky and get a win here and there, and that helps with it.
And then the other ones you reckon out finishing 20th?
Yeah.
Usually, yeah. Ricky,
I'm running pretty good at most of them.
Well, yeah, that's exactly it, Nelly. I'm trying to boost you up.
Top 5s.
Ricky, isn't it funny how these guys that are always good at super speedways, they always go, I don't like them, though. I don't like them.
Yeah.
Yes. Pretty common.
But Nelly, a win here tonight. Congratulations once again on bringing it home. Started 14th all the way up to the front of the field, which seemed like a very impossible task at the start of the night with the way the race was playing out. But before we let you go, the floor is yours. If you got people to thank, now's the time to do so.
I want to thank you guys for putting this on. Brian and Kathy for supporting it. Magoo for starting it. And thank the medicine chest for sponsoring me. Oh, and all the admins and everybody else at the behind the scenes that are putting these races on.
I always do a great job. And Nelly, can't thank you enough for taking the time to talk with us after this one. Congratulations on this win. Go soak it in some more. And good luck next week at Darlington.
Thank you.
Nelly, driver the number 103, Medicine Chest, Chevrolet, Camaro, and Ricky. That's going to do it from our coverage here at Daytona tonight. A fantastic race. And we overuse that word. Fantastic, incredible, amazing. You say absolutely a lot.
Yeah, I do say absolutely a lot. Absolutely.
But a great race here tonight, and folks at home, they're going to want to make sure they stay tuned for more of it as the fall on.
That is true, and it's all going to be wild, so get ready.
Get ready for more of it, folks. But thank you so much for tuning in here tonight. Make sure if you haven't already, hit the like button and subscribe to us here on JTN. We can't thank you enough for tuning in, as always. But that's going to do it from us here from the Daytona International Speedway. We hope you enjoy your racing weekend. Xfinity Cup, there's an F1 race as well. Going to be a bunch of great racing on, so we're going to take the couple of days off. We're going to enjoy it right alongside you. But for all of us here at JTN, for Ricky Collette, for Bristol, our producer, I've been Joe Twansky. Have a fantastic rest of your evening. We'll see you guys next time live here on JTN. So long for now, folks. Yeah, and they're going to be 3 wide coming to the checkered. Never mind, they're going to be... Oh, Maverick over!
Who did that?
Turn 4 into the tri-oval. Whitehill through the grass. It's going to be Noah Joyce winning his first career race in the Red Bull Cup Series.
All right, and they're wrecking behind them. We got cars flying everywhere. Cars upside down, but it doesn't matter. Noah Joyce has done it. He's won at Daytona in the 3 car.
Comes Musa. Musa's gonna.
Oh, he's going to use that apron.
He's gonna use the apron.
They're going to be side by side. Coming off the corner. Boy, back to the inside. It's going to be a drag race to the line. So Musa gets it.